14 months ago, you sold your company for $100 million. Tonight you're arguing over $11.50. Not arguing exactly. Mateo's just splitting the pizza on the app, same as always, and you're standing here doing the math in your head faster than the app can do it, out of habit. The same habit you've had since you were 19 and every dollar mattered. He rounds up to 12. You don't correct him. Your phone sits face down on the counter. It's been face down for 6 minutes. The kitchen smells like garlic bread going cold. The linoleum by the fridge has a crack shaped like a river. Neither of you has fixed it. Neither of you will. Nobody here knows about the 100 million, not Mateo. You send him $12 on Venmo. He says thanks. He's thanks. You say no problem. That's the whole exchange. That's the whole life most days. Rent is $650 a month. Split 2 ways, $325 each. You've paid on the first of the month, every month, without being late once. The bed frame is from a store that sells things in flat boxes. It's missing one screw near the headboard. You noticed it the week you moved in. You still sleep around it. Mateo works gig shifts. Some weeks it's rideshare, some weeks it's food delivery. His income moves. Yours doesn't. Not anymore. The electric bill was late last month. $9 in fees. He apologized for it for 3 days straight. You told him it was fine. You reach for the pasta sauce. Store brand. $2.40 cheaper. You put the name brand back on the shelf without even looking at the price difference. You just know it, the way you know your own phone number. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody's checking. You catch yourself doing it. You stand there for a second, holding a $2 jar, and you almost laugh. You don't. The easiest lie is the one nobody has a reason to check. That's level 1, not a system testing you. Just a kitchen, a cracked floor, and a phone lying face down that nobody's asked to see. That changes soon. Not here. Somewhere smaller, a shared bill, a group chat, a Venmo request with your name on it in front of 5 other people instead of 1. The group chat is called dinner, with 3 question marks nobody ever explains. 6 people, 1 table, exposed brick, a menu that changes every season. Someone orders the short rib, someone else gets 2 cocktails before the food even shows up. The bill comes to $211. Priya opens the app, splits it 6 ways, $35.17 each. The requests land on your phone, one after another, your name sitting right there next to everyone else's. You pay yours in under 10 seconds. Not because you're eager, because sitting on it feels like a spotlight you don't need. Someone suggests dessert, a shared plate, 4 forks, $12 more each. I'm good, you say. Nobody questions it. Nobody has a reason to. Priya brings up her student loans. $340 a month due on the 9th, always tight around then. She says it flat, a little tired the way you say something about the weather. The table nods. Someone says relatable. Someone else says they're barely making their minimum payment either. You pick up your water glass, put it back down without drinking. That's it. That's the whole reaction anyone sees. Later, someone wants to split an Uber back. $6 each. You send exactly $6 the second the app asks, not a cent more. You've started noticing something about yourself in these moments. The performance doesn't feel like a performance most of the time. It feels like muscle memory. But there's a half second. Walking to the car, 4 of you crammed in the back seat, someone laughing about something you missed, where you almost say it. The words are right there. I could pay off everyone's loans in this car and not feel it. You don't say it. You look out the window instead. Charlotte at 11 p.m. Streetlights doing the thing where they turn the wet road orange. Somebody's phone buzzes. Not yours. You're careful. You're always careful. Fitting in and belonging stop being the same thing, and you're the only one in the car who knows it. That's level 2. $35.17, split evenly, 6 ways, and 1 person at the table doing math nobody else needs to do. The next test isn't a group chat. It's 1 person, across a table, asking questions that actually want answers. Riley's profile has 3 photos and 1 line of text. A hiking trail, a dog that isn't hers, a blurry concert shot. The bio says probably talking about my dog too much. You match on a Tuesday night. She asks what you do. You type operations tech, delete it, type it again, send it. Oh, cool, like a startup thing? Something like that, you say. You don't say which one. You don't say what it turned into. The first date is coffee. Coffee has a ceiling of $6 and an easy exit if it's bad. It's not bad. Riley works at a nonprofit providing housing assistance, and she talks about it fast and a little messy, correcting herself mid-sentence because she cares more about getting it right than sounding smooth. She's got a scar on her thumb from a stapler, she tells you, completely unprompted, laughing at herself for even bringing it up. You laugh too. You notice you're laughing for real. She asks about your car. You say you mostly walk. True. Not the reason she thinks. She asks about your place. You say roommate, cheap rent, nothing fancy. Also true. She's not fishing. She's not running numbers behind her eyes the way some people do at this stage. She's just asking because she wants to know you. 3 weeks in, she brings up money on her own, not yours, hers. Behind on a credit card, something from a rough stretch 2 years ago, 22% interest, the kind of number that sits there compounding while she pays the minimum and tries not to think about it. She's not asking for anything. She's just telling you. You nod. You say something about how that stuff is rough. It's not a lie. It's just not the whole shape of the truth. She reaches for her coffee cup, notices it's empty, turns it upside down on the saucer out of habit. Something her grandmother used to do, she says, so the waiter knows without asking. You remember that. You don't know yet why you'll remember it. You just do. Some numbers change faster than people do. You walk her to her car, a hand-me-down sedan with a check engine light that's been on for months. You don't offer to fix it. Offering would mean explaining. Not yet. Riley's not the last person in this story. She comes back later, and when she does, it won't be about a check engine light. The listing says $980 a month, 1 bedroom, top floor. You've been thinking about your own place for a while now. Not because Mateo's a problem, just because you're 25 and you want a door that's only yours. You fill out the application while standing in the parking lot. Full name, date of birth, employer. You pause on the employer. Self-employed, consulting. You type it, delete it. Type it again exactly the same way, and hit submit before you can talk yourself out of either version. $50 for a credit and background check. You pay it without thinking twice. 3 days later, a woman named Dana calls. Her voice has that flatness people get when they're reading off a screen and trying not to sound like it. Credit score, 812. That's not the problem, she says. The problem is income verification. Self-employed applicants need 2 years of tax returns or 3 months of bank statements, and what you submitted doesn't match what a typical consulting income looks like. The deposits are larger than what we usually see, she says. Gently, like she's handing you an easy way out. You could take it. You could tell her the truth right now and watch her voice change. You don't. I'll send additional documentation, you say. You hang up. You sit in the parking lot for 4 minutes before you start the car. A group chat never got this close. A forum did. You don't end up renting the place. You tell Mateo the market's rough, rents are up, you'll wait it out. He believes you because rents actually are up, and because the story is always built from real bricks, arranged around a hole he can't see. The forum already knew, it just didn't know what it knew. The next place you'll have to explain yourself isn't a leasing office. It's your mother's kitchen, on a Sunday, over the phone, with a question that isn't about income at all. Sunday calls happen at 6, right after your mom gets off her shift at the pharmacy. Same time every week, like a small appointment neither of you has ever had to schedule out loud. Tonight, she sounds tired in the way that means her feet hurt, but she won't say so. She asks if you're doing okay for money. You know why. Your cousin Danny lost his job in March and still hasn't found anything steady. Your mom's been quietly worried it's contagious somehow, like bad luck runs through a family the way a cold does. I'm fine, Mom. Work steady. That's good, she says. If you ever need anything, even just a little, you know you can ask. Your dad's picking up overtime again, but we've got some put aside. Just in case. Some put aside. You know the number without her saying it. You found the savings passbook in a kitchen drawer when you were 14, looking for a pen. $6,400, give or take, built over 11 years of overtime shifts and a coupon binder she still keeps by the fridge. You don't say anything for a second. Long enough that she asks if you're still there. Yeah, just thinking about something at work. You ask about her garden instead. The tomatoes that didn't take this year. She talks about that for 6 minutes, relieved to have something easier to hold on to. After you hang up, you set the phone on your chest and lie there in the dark, not checking anything, just letting it sit there, heavier than something that thin should be. Some debts don't show up on a form. They just sit in a kitchen drawer, waiting for someone to go looking for a pen. The next test isn't a form. It isn't a person who loves you. It's your own body, in a waiting room, still flinching at a price tag that stopped mattering months ago. The tooth's been bothering you for 3 weeks. Lower left, near the back, a dull ache that shows up mostly at night. Insurance. A basic marketplace plan, the cheapest bronze tier, $61 a month. The same plan you picked back when $61 actually meant something to you. You never upgraded it. You never thought to. The waiting room has gray chairs bolted to the floor in a row, the kind that don't quite fit 2 people comfortably. A TV bolted to the wall plays a home renovation show with the sound off, captions running too fast to read. Somebody's toddler is stacking magazines on the carpet, one on top of another, watching them fall every time he gets to 4. You fill out a clipboard, the pen chained to the counter with a little metal ball. New patient. Insurance information. A box asking about your ability to pay if treatment isn't covered. You check it. The pen scratches. The chain clinks against the counter when you set it down. The hygienist calls your name. The chair is cold vinyl under your neck, a paper bib clipped at your collar that smells faintly of latex. X-rays. A cavity, deeper than expected, needs a filling. The dentist comes in, wiping his glasses on his coat, and holds the chart up at an angle so you can see the shadow on the film. You've got 2 options here. A composite filling runs about $90 after insurance. Ceramic holds up longer, more natural color match. That's closer to $290. Composite's fine, you say. Before he's even lowered the film. He nods, writes it on the chart without looking up, clicks his pen twice, and moves on to scheduling. You're still in the chair, mouth propped open with a small plastic wedge, staring at the ceiling tile with the water stain shaped like nothing in particular, and it hits you right there, mid-answer, before the drills even started. You just saved $200 on a decision that took less time than it takes to read the price out loud. Your mouth answered before your brain got a vote. The suction tube makes that thin whistling sound against your cheek. The hygienist adjusts the light overhead, and for a second, the glare catches you right in the eyes before she angles it away. You almost laugh around the tube. You don't. You just lie there, numb on one side of your face, listening to the drill start up 2 rooms over before it starts up in yours. Afterward, at the front desk, the receptionist slides the card reader across the counter. $90. You tap your card, it beeps green. She hands you a small paper bag with gauze and a printed sheet about aftercare, folded in thirds. You sit in your car in the parking lot after, engine off, keys still in your lap. The Novocaine's starting to wear off at the edges, a dull throb replacing the numbness. Your tongue keeps finding the new filling on its own, checking it, the way it used to check for loose change in a coat pocket. The habits of being poor don't leave. They just wait for a dentist's chair to wake back up. The next test isn't your body. It's someone else's crisis, arriving on a Tuesday night, needing an answer faster than you're ready to give one. Jordan texts at 11:40 on a Tuesday. You're at Riley's place, second time there, a couch that smells like her dog, a movie neither of you is really watching, flickering blue light across the room. The dog, a mutt with one ear that never stands upright, is asleep on a folded blanket by the radiator. Hey, sorry to ask, I really need $200 by tomorrow morning. Landlord's doing the whole eviction notice thing, and I'm short. I'll pay you back. I swear Jordan's your oldest friend here. Helped you move apartments twice, once in the rain, carrying a mattress down 3 flights while you both laughed about nothing. Never once asked what you actually do for work. Just assumed tech stuff was a full enough answer. $200. You read it 3 times, thumb hovering over the screen without touching it. Riley notices your face change before you say anything. She pauses the movie mid-frame, the actor's mouth caught open on a word nobody will ever hear. Everything okay? Friend's having a rough week. You open the banking app to send it. The screen brightens, throwing pale light up onto your face in the dim room. You don't angle it away from her. You don't think to. You don't think about timing, or the couch, or who's sitting 18 inches away with her knees pulled up under her. You just open it. Thumb moving on instinct, the same 4 taps you've done 1,000 times. The balance sits at the top of the screen. 9 digits, white text on black. It doesn't hide itself. It never has. You've just always been the one turning the phone away. Tonight you don't. You sent the $200. The confirmation buzzes once in your palm. You lock the phone and set it face down on the cushion between you, exactly where it's always been, exactly like nothing happened. Except something did. Riley's eyes are back on the TV. Or they were. You're not sure now whether they moved a half-second late or right on time. The dog shifts on its blanket, sighs, and goes still again. The radiator ticks as it cools. She doesn't say anything. She reaches for the remote and unpauses the movie. The actor finishes his sentence, 3 seconds late for anyone but him. 20 minutes later, another text lights up the coffee table where you set the phone screen up this time. Okay, this is embarrassing, but the $200 covers tomorrow but not the rest. I owe $1,800 total by Friday, or I'm actually out. I don't know who else to ask. You pick the phone back up. Riley hasn't moved, hasn't asked a single question since everything okay. Her arm is close enough now that you can feel the warmth from it without either of you closing the gap. $1,800. To Jordan, it's a bed versus a car. To you, it's less than what you'd tip on a meal you didn't finish. You open the app again. The blue light hits your face a second time. Nobody noticed. Or somebody did and said nothing, which turns out to be its own kind of answer. You type the amount. Your thumb sits over confirm, the cursor blinking in the little box like it's waiting on you specifically. Riley still hasn't said a word. On screen, the movie plays on without either of you really watching it anymore. 1 month later, Jordan invites you to pizza. Same place, different booth this time, one with a rip in the vinyl seat patched with silver tape. The bill comes to $23, split 2 ways. Riley's working late, $11.50 each. Jordan opens the app, sends the request, same as he always has, thumb moving fast over the screen like it's second nature by now. You pay it, $11.50. Not a cent more. Jordan never asked where the $1,800 came from. He got the text that Friday, don't worry about it, seriously. And a transfer landed in his account 20 minutes later. No explanation attached, and somehow that was enough for him. He didn't push. Some people don't. He just said thanks 4 times over 2 days, and then stopped saying it, the way you stop thanking gravity for keeping your feet on the ground. Tonight he's talking about the new place. Small, a little rough around the edges, water stains on the ceiling in the bathroom, he says he'll deal with eventually, but his name's on the lease. He pulls up a photo on his phone, holds it across the table. A kitchen with mismatched cabinet doors, one window with a crack in the corner taped over with clear packing tape. First place that's actually mine, he says, turning the phone back around to look at it himself for a second before pocketing it. He's happy. He doesn't know he's sitting across from someone who could buy the whole building, the block, maybe the block after that. You don't tell him. You reach for another slice instead, the cheese stretching in a long string before it snaps. Riley's waiting when you get back to your building, sitting on the front steps under the one streetlight that actually works. Her jacket zipped up against the cold, phone dark in her lap. You sit down next to her without saying anything. The concrete step is cold enough that you feel it through your jeans almost immediately. A car passes with a bad muffler, the sound rattling off the buildings and fading out down the block. Somewhere a dog barks twice and stops. She's turning something over in her hands, a coffee cup lid empty, the plastic tab bent back and forth until it's soft. You know, she says, not looking at you. Eyes on the empty street instead. I figured out a long time ago. That's it. That's the whole sentence. She doesn't say when, she doesn't say how. She doesn't ask you to explain the 9 digits or the parking lot outside the leasing office or the coffee dates where you talked around every real answer for 3 weeks straight. You don't ask what she saw or when she saw it or why she never said anything until tonight, sitting on a cold step with a bent plastic lid in her hands. You just sit there. The streetlight flickers once, steadies. Neither of you moves to go inside yet. Upstairs, Mateo's got the TV on, some rerun with the volume too low to actually follow, the blue light washing over the same crack in the linoleum it's washed over 100 nights before. He looks up when you come in, feet propped on the coffee table, a bowl of cereal balanced on his stomach even though it's almost 10 at night. "You still owe me 50 cents, he says, not looking away from the screen. "From last week's pizza." You laugh. Actually laugh, the kind that comes out before you decide to let it. You Venmo him 50 cents right there in the doorway, still holding your keys. He checks his phone when it buzzes, snorts, shakes his head like you're both idiots for tracking something this small, and neither of you stops doing it anyway. He sets the cereal bowl down on the table, milk sloshing near the rim. "You ever think about what you'd do if you got rich? Like actually rich?" You look at him for a second. The crack in the floor catches the kitchen light the way it always has, still shaped like a river that never found anywhere new to go. Your bed frame's still missing that same screw down the hall. The store-brand sauce is still in the cabinet, half empty. "I don't know," you say. "Probably nothing." He laughs like that's the most naive thing he's ever heard, grabs the remote, and goes back to the TV. You don't correct him. The balance never asked to be hidden. Some people just get better at not looking. Somewhere else tonight, in a different kitchen, someone else is splitting a bill they can't actually afford, believing the version of wealth they scroll past every night is the only version that's real. They don't know yet how much of it is a costume. The pizza's $23. It always will be, no matter who's paying, and no matter who already knows.